When you can build and tune a car to be so in sync with yourself, the only thing you have left to compare to is yourself. This is the rhythm, and this is why we live by the words, race yourself.
So, the road to COTA. I believe we have 40 days left to actually get quite a few cars done. We have the A90 Supra driven by Toby. We have the GT3 RS driven by Jason Chen. And then we have Gabe driving his GT3.
We competed last year and we kind of used that as our baseline and as our slow progression.
A lot of the things that we're going to be doing to our Supra and to the GT3 RS haven't been done before. A lot of people have modded Supras, you know, to become a track car, but things like the rear wing that we want to design, the setup that we're going to have for the engine and the turbo and the manifold from CSF and VF Engineering, the tuning that's going to go along with that, and then for the GT3 RS, the aero package, which is something new that hasn't been put on a car yet. You know, the challenge is not just going to be that, getting it onto the car and making sure everything works, going to the test days at Button Willow and the test days at Big Willow, hopefully, and as many test days that we can get, not just to make sure the cars work right, but for us as the drivers, myself, and for Jason and Gabe and his GT3, who's also adding aero, to feel how much of a change that's going to have on the car. So just heading back from the new location, which StudioRSR will be utilizing for the next 5 years or so. And as much as I want to stay there and plan everything out and start building the new shop so we can get moved in, it's weird timing because it's probably the most hectic part of getting ready for Global Time Attack for all three cars. Today's a big day. Today is the first day the work on the Supra and the GT3 RS is actually gonna happen. So as much as we've been anticipating waiting to get all these parts from our partners and manufacturers, today's the day we actually get to open the boxes that have come and turn some bolts and finally get to put some of these parts on.
So for the GT3, I have a set of MCS 3-way coilovers coming from Dundon. They're dual plane canards and they're swan neck. An AP brake kit front and rear.
One of the hardest things we've been trying to get a hold of are the AP Racing brakes for the front of Jason's GT3 RS and for the rear. With the way that they've been handling the order,
yeah,
and like, I don't know. Throughout the process, we just decided to tell the distributor for AP Racing just to work on the fronts, and then we'll settle for the factory rears, at least for the test days, and then hopefully get the rears in time for COTA.
You're handling this like poorly?
Yeah.
So we told him like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, he knew when Jack actually first reached out, like, we needed it by this date, which was test day 1.
Yeah.
That went out the window. And then from that point on, it was like, dude, we're not even gonna make it to test day 2, let alone COTA right now. So yesterday, I finally, every week, if Jack throughout the whole week can't get a hold of him, like I'll call and then I'll talk to him and then give him like the firm hand of like, dude, why the fuck aren't you giving us an update?
Yeah.
Yeah. After I talked to him yesterday, from my understanding, Jack, is that I told him to do just the fronts for now. And then he's still pretty sure that the rear can happen.
Okay.
But the kit for your car, because it's a Porsche, they don't have hardware for, so I said the final deadline for that is February 9th for both.
Everything? Oh.
I said, if you can't get me the fronts before, by next week or something, then at least February 9th is it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for Jason's GT3 RS, it's kind of a a different situation than we're used to. He suffered from a big crash. Well, not a crash, but more of a strut tower failure at Buttonwillow. You know, that put a strain on the schedule because now, fortunately, he was able to find a body shop that was certified by Porsche to provide the part to repair it on the strut tower and also all the glue. So that in itself is pretty crazy to hear that it's not welded or anything, the metal is glued. Thankfully, the body shop finished the GT3 RS in time and delivered the car back to us.
Chin's car's coming today. Well, Chin's car's coming today. So it'll be interesting to see what all ended up happening with that. As far as the repair, see the quality of the repair.
Oh, oh my God, that's a huge relief. But in that time, they were charging, obviously, it being a Porsche GT3 RS, the dealership wanted to charge a lot to bleed the coolant, bleed the brakes. Jason sent the car directly from the body shop to us. We're having to figure out which P-Wiz tool is needed for a 991.2 GT3 RS to do the full factory coolant bleed procedure. And then also, we believe we have the correct tool needed to bleed the brakes. And then after that, we can just change the oil. That's not a problem. And then move on to actually improving the car.
Bleed, but it also bleeds the ABS, and you can hear the ABS pump actually priming and everything like that.
Did it like twice, right?
We did it twice, and but now he was saying it's at like about 98%. We just need to get it. There's a camera right there. Don't look at it though. But it's at about 98%.
Have you ever bled your coolant?
On the GT3?
Yeah.
No, I had the cooling system replaced when I smacked the cone, but it was leaking coolant, and
But the factory did it.
No, the body shop did it. But,
okay.
But I topped off mine when it
What
said
body
it was
shop
low.
was that?
What's that? Caliber Collision.
Why didn't you go there?
They might have taken it. Dude, don't go to Caliber Collision right now. 'Cause Caliber Collision is the reason why I don't have a fucking home for stuff.
Oh, word. Yeah.
But
Did he tell you what happened with the coolant?
yeah, he was bitching and crying in the chat. My car's not gonna be ready. I'm like, oh my God. Shut up.
I'm not really thinking about that right now. It's more in my head. I know once I get it back about the mental barrier of, you know, hopping on curbs or, you know, just tracking in general, you know, to make sure the strut tower doesn't break again.
Oil's up there. Oil's this one. Oil's fine. It's coolant because all the radiators had to come off. That's right.
Okay. It's safe. So I want you to notice if it's different.
Okay.
But like under full braking, and then when the weight's on the front, it's shimmying right and left the tiniest bit.
It's probably alignment.
Okay, so the alignment's still fucked up.
Because the whole car was down to the frame, no suspension at all.
Yeah.
So
They didn't do any sort of like.
because they know I was gonna put coil.
Got it. Does it feel the same?
The brake pedal now.
The brake pedal's totally different?
Yeah, totally different.
Oh shit. Okay.
I think it's air and fluid.
Really?
Yeah.
But it doesn't feel like air because once you hit the hard spot, it stays there.
It's like way stiffer. Like
I noticed it too.
Okay.
like before it was like kind of soft.
Okay.
Now it's like a brick wall.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's pull it in and then we'll talk about plans.
Okay.
Push.
Yeah.
Should we push?
Let's push it.
I think yeah. Is the parking brake on?
Okay.
When I first heard that we were going to be going to COTA with the Supra, obviously you look at it, look at the car and know that it's got a bad cylinder. When the Supra first blew up, kind of knew we were in trouble. We had cylinder dropout codes on cylinder number 4. Sounded like it was cammed. A couple people heard it backfire, going through a couple turns. Fuel starvation was the ultimate cause of the failure.
It was really really a shock to me, kind of. But in the back of my mind, you know, we're pushing the boundaries of what we're doing on the platform, and I knew, you know, there is always that possibility when you're testing new things out that have never been done before that it could damage the car in a catastrophic way, and that's unfortunately what happened.
Ultimately, we just sourced a used motor just for time's sake. When I initially heard that it needed to be running and driving to get to COTA, I mean, I think we had 40 days to do it, and that's not including the motor swap. There was a lot of stuff to do on the car itself. So just had to stay a couple late nights and get the car back to its former glory before it blew up.
That sounds like a good car now.
Cody was able to get the car running pretty much in less than 2 days. So, you know, I can't be more thankful to Cody for staying late over the weekend to make that happen, just so that we could get started on the development of the car and even decide whether, hey, is this engine that we got gonna work? Like, is this gonna be a possibility to even do global time attack with the Supra? All right, 3-month wait, dude. Longer?
No, longer, dude.
It's been longer?
It's been longer, I think.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no, it hasn't been 3 months.
I missed this. Remember how many times we walked by the car and then we were like, these are your tires, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
They're brand new in the back.
Oh.
Take off.
The scrubs?
Yeah.
And they want a set from like
No,
01?
from Chins.
Oh, okay.
Stuff, none bolt check, KWEC cancelers, shoulder harness, horn injection, pure 850, hood and fender.
For COTA,
Down the mirrors.
I think we should take either 1 or 2 spare axles.
Don't bring that energy in.
I just
Don't bring that energy in.
I just
It's not a bad idea.
I know.
yeah. Yeah, axles, I would definitely recommend at least 1 axle, just because you never know, something could happen.
How many times did you launch your car?
I never launched, like, I've never officially launched. I do donuts and I burn out and whatnot, and I mess around, but
Yeah.
that only happens because we have so much torque at such low RPM, so if you're wheel hopping in any way, like, you know what I mean, if you're going out of
See, like the areas where it would stress the axles out, like, I just drift. It just drifts.
But what
I
if,
don't want it to, but it does.
but what if you don't drift and you're actually hooking, and you actually pull the throttle in and then it just...
With our sick ass tail fin, that might be the case, dude. Yeah, so they just told me that they're not going to do the trans in time. I don't know why we like rushed we moved our whole schedule around to get the transmission out and get it shipped. It was ready to ship an hour after the phone call.
In the middle of next month, not even coming up 5 weeks away.
Imagine if we didn't have a backup transmission.
Essentially, with everything that we're going to be doing to the car, our capabilities are going to be pretty much endless, and they're kind of going to be limited right at the trans.
Nah, the tires are gone. Yeah, that's why I'm just going out there and fucking playing cat and mouse.